So, quick question. When the OC cannibal dog girl made love to the Russian serial killer, was that before or after the imaginary goblin who doesn't exist attempted to impregnate the one eyed karate master?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Crazy fan bases. I'm sure just saying that phrase brings to mind all sorts of fandoms: Sonic fans, Undertale fans, bronies, The Loud House. Yes, The Loud House. Believe it or not, they have a lot of 9/11 and gore art and fanfics for some reason. Oh yeah, probably should mention that. The point is, when you think crazy fan base, you usually think disgusting, criminal, evil, weirdly rich. But the fan base we're going to be talking about today is just as unhinged, but in a good way, believe it or not. They've somehow managed to funnel their craziness into creativity, community, and in a weird way, acceptance. Hello beautiful people, I'm TearlessMan39, and today we're going to take a quick look at one of the wildest fandoms of all time, the Baki community. Now I'm sure at least a couple of you are wondering, what is Baki? And that's understandable. The anime isn't niche by any means, but it's not exactly Dragon Ball Z. Well, even if you haven't, you've probably seen things like this, or this crop up on your feed, leaving you wondering, am I looking at a shitpost? But believe it or not, it is a real series, and those are all real panels. Well, actually the last one is a shitpost, but we'll get to that. Baki, in short, is a long-running martial arts series covering a boy named Baki's journey to learn martial arts and defeat his father, the world's strongest man. On its face, it's actually a pretty typical shonen anime. High school boy goes on a martial arts journey of self-discovery, having epic battles and making friends along the way. But when you actually look inside, it's not exactly your typical shonen. It much more resembles a buff version of JoJo. Well, JoJo is actually buff JoJo, so I guess a buffer version of JoJo. Despite no one technically having stands or superpowers, they might as well if you watch the show. You have guys punching faster than the speed of sound because they imagine they have 1,000 joints. A dude became strong enough to pull down helicopters because he really likes BBWs. A pretty major story moment is when Cuban politician Che Guevara barrel rolls 300 feet to stop a group of identical triplets from killing Mike Tyson by peeing on them. Actually, there are a lot of very important events in the story involving pee. There are so many more crazy moments, but if you need any further proof of how wild the story gets, you can just use genetics. If you didn't know, the guy who wrote Baki is actually the father of the woman who made Beastars, which can be best described as furry fight porn. Fight/porn, not dash porn. It's no surprise then that a story that unhinged cultivated a fan base to match. And we'll be tackling that in sections, covering every aspect possible, like our first one. Fan artists are some of the most powerful people on the planet. No matter what, as a rule, I respect them. Not because of their strength of character, or moral fiber, or some other nonsense. No, nothing like that. But because they can all draw me pregnant, which is a type of problem I do not need. That being said, I really, truly respect the fan artists of the Baki community. The best way to put it is the phrase, talent in the hands of a jester. They kind of just exemplify the sheer goofiness inherent to the series. Now, of course, not everything is just jokes. When it comes to serious fan art, there's lots of it in the community. Everything from character art, to gorgeous fan animations, to even fan fight retellings. But today, I want to take more of a look at the, unique side of Baki fan art. I have no other adjectives, positive or negative, to adequately describe it. Like when you look at stuff like this, you can tell that it takes a lot of technical skill to make. It's just also insane. Though to be fair, I'm also of the opinion that art is anything that you make to express meaning, technical skill or not. Something like this, and the Mona Lisa, to me have about the same artistic value. Low key, this monstrosity at least made me laugh, so I'd say it even has a little bit more. You can in fact quote me on that. But I think the best example of both pure artistic talent and sheer unabashed madness has to be Saint Pup. To put it in very mild, conservative, non-sensationalist terms, Saint Pup is probably the closest thing Baki fans have to LeBron James. which I guess would make AR manga Jordan? Whatever. Suffice it to say, Saint Pup is frankly the queen of Baki fans. Heck, probably of the actual show. What? You thought it would be an actual character from the series? Silly viewer, Baki doesn't have relevant female characters. We literally haven't seen Baki's girlfriend in over a decade, and they're neighbors. Well, actually, there was his mom, but she's taking a bit of a backseat role. Saint Pup is a fan artist on Reddit and Twitter who's known for posting self-ship art of herself as a dog girl with the Baki inmate Sikorsky. Like a lot. Like whatever you're thinking, it's more. Anything from dates to moments at home to straight up hardcore even turning him into a slime and torturing him, it'll be there. Alongside art of her dismembering a guy and eating his corpse. And honestly, she has to be one of my top 5 favorite fan artists ever. Despite how random everything is, you can always see the sheer care and detail that goes into every post of hers. The talent, humor, and the sneaking suspicion that something is deeply wrong, all combined to make some of the best fan art I've ever seen. And the community's seen it too. The day she almost got permabanned was essentially a day of mourning for all of us. And it goes to show how deeply fan artists can become ingrained in the community. Like besides Sikorsky, there's our resident pickle artist and our resident spec artist as well. That last one really caught me off guard. Spec to me kinda just looks like TRT Caillou. I actually can't imagine what the community would look like without its unhinged fan artists. I'd say probably less homoerotic or maybe less crazy, but infinity minus 100,000 is still infinity after all. Next up, we're going to talk about Yujiro Hanma, who I honestly think deserves his own section. Even if you've never seen the Baki series, you've probably seen Yujiro. He's easily the most popular character we have by a country mile, including his son, who the series is named after. Yet another way that Baki can't measure up to his father. Sorry, kid. There are people who have probably watched 5+ Sigma Sweater Weather Yujiro edits, because it's always Sweater Weather X After Dark, that don't even know Baki is a series. But honestly, it's easy to see why. Yujiro is, at a glance, cool. No other word for it. He's strong enough to stop an earthquake with a punch, fast enough to dodge bullets, dangerous enough to take on armies, and weak enough to get trapped by a net and darts. But ignore that. He's considered so deadly that even in series, the US president has to swear an oath of fealty to him. Yup, that right there is a panel of Donald Trump swearing an oath to Yujiro as he smokes a cigar. Here he is trying to convince Yujiro the election was rigged. And here he is after Yujiro finished knocking him out. Good stuff. As a result of his popularity, meme after meme has spawned about Yujiro. One that's been making the rounds, mostly outside of the community, is Yujiro having narrator force. Essentially, you can't beat him because the narrator will create some technique out of his ass to have him win. It's like a portmanteau of the Tibetan monk's Batman meme and Toon Force. Let me give you an example. Gee, I sure am glad I killed that guy Yujiro. At least the battle is finally over. He was a fool. What? Who is that? In ancient Greek times, there existed a man by the name of Achilles. He was a great warrior. Some even said he descended from the gods. Seriously, who is that? He was thought to be invincible, and functionally, he was truly invulnerable. But it wasn't due to divine right, but due to science and martial arts skill. By tightening his left testicle at just the right angle, Achilles could restart his heart and heal any injury he sustained. That makes no sense. So it's little surprise that the world's greatest martial artist and strongest creature scoured the annals of history to learn of this technique and use it for himself. You're a worthy opponent, Batman. You forced me to use a technique. Now allow me to show you another. My anti-Batman punch. You're what? I could probably make a whole separate video on all the stuff Baki's narrator tries to justify, but that's for another time. The other big meme that he's a part of is apple fritter. Now you might be asking, what do I mean by apple fritter? And in this context, I would mean apple fritter. How did it start? Around the time of apple fritter. Is there any coherence to this at all? Well, you see, it actually started with apple fritter. I hope that all helped. In all seriousness, someone posted a meme praising apple fritters using Baki characters, and it just sort of went viral and mutated from there. It really doesn't take much for us. There is one other meme, but it's not one I'm as big a fan of. If you ask a Baki fan who would win in a fight between insert character here and Yujiro, the answer a good amount of the time will be YRMD, which stands for Yujiro mid-diff. Yeah. For all the hype moments in Aura, Yujiro is fundamentally not a great person. He's killed probably hundreds of people, crippled even more, and as you can probably guess, is not beyond assault either. His victims include the mother of his other son Jack, a random mountain climber named Joe Williams, and some way, somehow, US President Donald Trump, alongside Elon Musk and the whole of the Secret Service. Now, I'm all for being a fan of villainous or reprehensible characters. Some of my favorite characters are villains, from Beyblade's Damien to people way more evil than Yujiro, like Kid Buu. Heck, even though I understand the sensitivity of the subject, I'm not against completely making jokes about it. Look at Berserk fans. However, there's a small but vocal subsection of the community that genuinely idolizes Yujiro. Not like ironic celestial dragon glaze or praise for a good villain, but the way we see some media-blind people treat Patrick Bateman or Tyler Durden as a representation of perfect masculinity to aspire to uncritically. Now, it's definitely not that widespread, but I felt I'd be remiss not to mention it here, since, if anything, it's the only community trend I take any issue with. I don't want a soapbox, so I'll just say that in summary, it's kind of a weird thing to do, and there are way better role models out there. Heck, there are better role models in this series, from Hanayama to Retsu to even Baki himself. But that's all I'll say on that. It's time for our next section, the Lightning Round. In the Lightning Round, we're going to be covering some of my favorite events in my time in the fandom, but that I didn't have enough time to make their own sections. Before we get into it, I want to ask that you please like, share, and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video so far. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Kengan fanbase beef. Now, the Baki and Kengan fanbases have a lot of crossover and they're chill now, but they had a time period where they were on each other's ass and it led to some of the funniest moments in either fandom's history. The rise of AR Manga. AR Manga, like I said earlier, is the MJ of Baki. Jordan or Jackson, take your pick. While he hasn't been active as of late, he consistently makes some of the funniest Baki content there is. He's responsible for jabs like PP Training, Crocodile Hanma, and our next entry, 4,000 Years of Chinese. Retsu loves spamming this line so much it became a meme. 4,000 years of Chinese martial arts, 4,000 years of Chinese sugar water, and most importantly, 4,000 years of Chinese love. Retsu best girl. Speaking of Retsu, Nugget Retsu. Nugget Retsu is this viral image of Retsu after fighting a caveman. As I said before, the picture is edited and he only lost a leg, but it's one of those things that's so funny it might as well be canon. And lastly, Logan Chitwood. Logan Chitwood is a guy on social media who makes videos where he does random stuff dressed as Yujiro Hanma. I don't know how long he's been doing it, but he's been making content since I was in middle school. Whew! That was a lot. We only really have one more section to cover, and it's a deep dive on my favorite character in all of Baki, and one of the reasons I love the series so much. Get ready to cover the one and only Titsniff. We have now started to enter the deep lore. Likely because of him being almost entirely cut out of the anime release, Titsniff has kind of been thrown to the wayside. But fans who have read the manga know just how important he is to the story. He served as Baki's sidekick for a large part of Baki the Striker, traveled with Retsu for big parts of his journey, fought Jack Hanma in the minimum tournament, and even had a hot and heavy coming out story covering when he and Doppo Orochi first made love. While Doppo decided to end things and stay faithful to his wife, the fire still remained. Titsniff is probably the most impactful character I've ever seen erased from an anime adaptation. I don't even get why. It's not like Baki cares about censorship. The only reason I can even think of is that they cut him because he doesn't exist. Oh yeah, I kinda forgot to tell you, Titsniff doesn't actually exist. He's essentially the onset of an internet-spanning mass psychogenic illness. About 3 years ago, someone made a post questioning the sudden introduction of Baki's whimsical goblin sidekick Titsniff. Without anyone asking questions, Titsniff became an established and important part of Baki canon. Soon he had lore, friendships, a lover, transformations, and within a day, his own wiki page. Anime-only viewers started to genuinely question if he was a manga original character, and the charade was kept up pretty well. And even after the initial hype died down, to this day, you can find additions being made to the life and times of everyone's favorite goblin. We're still holding out hope that once the anime returns, he'll get introduced and finally have that fight with Musashi Miyamoto. I don't say this lightly, but when I first read it, I came the closest I ever have to crying while reading a manga. The only moment the series has that comes even close is when he finally confronted Buttlick, his evil brother, after he brutally beat down Doppo and took his eye. I hope that at least gets an OVA. Overall, I hope I've managed to do a decent enough job covering why I love, and slightly fear, the Baki community so much. I've been a Baki fan since I was in middle school, a third of my life at this point. It's not flawless by any means, but 13-year-old me thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and I still do now, to be honest. It helped me with confidence, gave me some of my favorite characters, and even helped inspire my super sexy fitness transformation and lose 71 pounds. Yes, I know, ladies, not all at once. My Instagram DMs are open. Ladies, that was a joke. Please, don't leave. We already have few enough of you as it is. In all seriousness, though, despite all the craziness and vague, unspecified mental illness, Baki is one of the things that actually kept me sane. I used to struggle really badly with treatment-resistant depression. I still do, but it used to be really, really bad. Like missing school, constant hospitalization bad. I was very lonely during that time. I stopped socializing, I stopped keeping in contact with friends, I stopped caring about anything, really. But one bright light I had was just hopping on Twitter or YouTube or Reddit and looking at whatever man-made horror this community had made. It managed to always make me laugh, and the times when laughing got too hard, it at least got a smile. It was nice, feeling accepted, even understood in a way by someone. Even if that someone was an online rando drawing gay serial killer hentai. I won't say it saved my life or anything that dramatic, but it certainly helped. The Baki fandom might not be perfect or unimpeachable, but it is one of a kind and something I wouldn't trade for the world. So I encourage you, if you've never watched Baki, give it a shot. Dive in, join the madness, make up a character, draw a serial killer slime, whatever you want. Whatever you want to do, just know that there's going to be a place for you here. I really appreciate you all for taking the time to watch this video. I've been thinking about this for a while and I'm happy I managed to get it out. As usual, I encourage you to like the video, share and subscribe. You don't know how much it helps. Also in the description, I recently started a Discord for the community to talk about anything from fitness to books to anime to games. I know we're small right now, but every sign up makes it that much bigger. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and what you'd like to see next. I love all you beautiful people, and I'll see you next Thursday.